gentlemen, I'm your DJ.
We are live on Old School Tuesday. Turn up.
It's just like that. I am back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 38 of Old School Tuesday. Turn up! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm the girl, Priscilla Watley, right here, the one and only live right here in my hometown. But you know what? I'm not gonna keep you guys long because y'all know you guys are ready to listen to hear the story of Brick and what they all have been going through, what they have going on. Please, without further ado, please welcome Mr. Jimmy Brown, Mr. Curtis Reynolds of Brick. Hola, hola, hey. What's up?
That's a ripple. Yeah.
Can they still hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Now we can. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. We kind of froze there a little bit. But how are you guys doing and everything? How's everything going?
Great. Going very well with us. You know, we've been working together. Curtis and I have been working together for a long time, for about 40 years. 40 long time, you know. And so it's amazing the things that's going on right now with Curtis, with Brick, and with Ripple.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. What you
okay.
say? Yeah, so like I said, everything is going very well with us at this time.
Okay, that's what's up. But 40 years, congratulations on 40 years with you all. That is amazing. That's what I'm talking about. 40 years, but you all like during, especially pandemic, did you guys even take a chance to just go all the way back to think, how did we get here 40 years in the beginning? Like, how did you all really like get to the success God has blessed you all with?
Well, success came, you know, back in the 70s. You know, Curtis was doing Ola with Ripple. Yeah. I was starting off with Brick. And, you know, we were playing clubs on Campbellton Road at that time, you know. And I actually met Curtis during that time, you know. And Curtis knew all different musicians like I did. But anyway, Curtis came in and sat in, you know, with us one time. So we started playing together. And before I knew it, we named ourselves Jimmy and Curtis. Jimmy and Curtis. All the way back then. That's 40-some years ago. 40-some years ago. Yeah. And so we've been working together. And we talk about the things that's going to actually be happening today. And that was amazing. We said we were going to record together, Jimmy and Curtis. And we're going to, you know, make us a hit record. And so far, it's a hit record. It's a hit record. Yeah, we got great things going in the music industry right now. We've got a single out called Into You. It was produced by Luke G. And it's on all the digital markets now. But Jimmy and I played locally at Costum's out in Conyers and another place called Nancy Pizza. So we get to play the songs for people. And we get the reaction. We are our own A&R department, and we see the reaction we get from the songs. And it's funny because, like Jimmy said, 40 years ago, and I tell this story all the time, we were in a jazz band, and Jimmy came to me and said, Curtis, I got a gig, and it's just going to be the two of us. I looked at him like he was crazy. I said, look, man, I play funk. I don't play no jazz. He said, I hear it in your playing. I said, oh, you hear what am I playing? He said, don't worry about it. He came over to my apartment, and I kid you not, he taught me 10 jazz songs. We went down to a place called the Peachtree Cafe in Buckhead with 10 songs, and we landed that gig, and we played for 5 years down there. Down there, yep. And we used to get on every one of our breaks. We used to go out and sit, and we talk about what's happening right now today. At that time, we didn't know that this type of thing was going to be happening. Brick had been out, Ripple had been out. We all had been on the big stage touring with whoever you want to name. We done toured with them. But we said, nope, we're going to do Jimmy and Curtis. That's right. That's what we kept saying. One day. We're going to do Jimmy and Curtis. That was 40 years ago. And here we are. And it's rolling. Yep.
Jeez, congratulations. That is
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you. And I just love the way you guys just told that story because that's 40 years. Some people don't, special artists, they don't last that long. Some of them don't. What is one secret that you all say that had you all, kept, what really kept you all going? What really, for the success that, God has really allowed you guys to have from then to
Well,
now?
you
Did you guys ever experience any trials and tribulations or anything?
yeah, well, in the music business, you can be up one day, the next day you might be down. But the main thing is when you love music like we do, okay, you have that steady thing in it that you want to do better and better in the music business, and that happened with me and with Curtis. We
Hmm.
like you say, it's up downs and round and around in this business. But if you
Hmm.
love what you're doing and you love the music like we do, you're gonna stick with it. No matter what's going on, you're gonna stick right in there. Like I had to stick with Brick, and Curtis had to stick with the band he was with.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you stick in there. You say, well, look, it might not be happening right now, but if I keep going, if I just keep going, things gonna happen for me one day, and that's
Hmm.
what it was. It happened for Brick, and now it's happening for Jimmy and Curtis.
Right. And also another thing, Jimmy and I, we said, I mean, we're compatible. We haven't
Hmm.
had a fallout with each other since we've been together. We
Hmm.
just we're compatible, and we understand our personalities. Just our personalities are just like the way we play. When we play, we just gel. Our personalities gel, and then and the people in our circle, they're gelling with us now. Just like Luke G, he's on the scene. We got another guy, Marlon McNichols, another guy, Diamond. We got people that's in our circle that gel with us. And really, to be honest, if they don't gel with us, Jimmy and I just say, I ain't getting ready to deal with them.
That's
That's
it.
just the way we are. That's not being arrogant. It's just the way we
Right.
are.
That's the way it is,
That's
though.
just the way we are.
Yeah.
If it can't be that way, we're not going to deal with it. I mean,
Yeah.
we're blessed. I mean, to be real, I'm 71, Jimmy's 77. And at that age, how in the world you look and see we got some things that are possibly major hits on the pipeline right now? How many
Yeah.
people can say after 40 years they can do that again? How
Yeah.
many people can say Ola Ola has lasted for generation after generation? Kid and Play sampled it,
Hmm.
Special Ed. And then lately, last year, the Black Eyed Peas sampled it. You got people who sampled Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. All them songs, their longevity, they've lasted for 40 years and still, and still being sampled and stuff. That's something that, it just doesn't happen every day. And so
Yeah.
we're blessed. Jimmy and I are blessed that that's going on with our careers. I mean, and the funny thing, like in a house party and some of them shows, they'll do Ola Ola and they will do Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody in the same show. Those songs, Jimmy and I, we just, I don't know,
Yeah, that's a blessing,
it's a
for that to
blessing.
happen. Things
Yeah.
going on like that.
So
And another thing that happened was the fact that we had the chance. Well, not really a chance. When I got the chance to play with Elton John, the movie um, that he made, a Rocket Man. Okay, and I played in the middle of that movie with my flute, the flute solo in
and
Dazz.
Dazz, yeah,
Yeah, so and that was an Oscar, for getting that. So, that's a beautiful thing to see those type of things happen for you. I'm just I always say I'm blessed.
very,
Yeah,
very.
we very blessed to be here and still doing what we doing.
But to be on this show right now with the caliber of people that you've had on your show, for it's an honor for us to be here, knowing that you didn't have to let us be on here or choose us,
Right.
and then you've had some powerful people on your show, and so for us to be here, that's a really big for us is a big inspiration.
It is.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So, it's just everything is just moving forward in a very positive direction for Jimmy and Curtis. Now, we got the name Brick, we got the name Ripple. We'll never live that down. We will always have that behind us.
Yeah.
But we're working with Jimmy and Curtis, a dream we had 40 years ago that is manifested. It's coming now, and it's coming strong.
Yeah.
And so we never gave a pandemic. When everybody was shut down, we didn't go play. And Jimmy and I might have talked to Jimmy 2 times every 6 months. Then one day he called me and said, Kurt, I need you to come by. I need you to hear these songs. I said, okay, Jimmy. I went over there. We sat in his car, and we both sitting there about to break our necks on the song. And I said, dang, Jimmy, you've been working. He said, yeah, I've been working. And
That's
get
right.
this, the songs he wrote them on his telephone. I mean, it was on his telephone.
On my telephone, yeah.
And we came over to Luke G and put them in there and opened it up. And all of a sudden we had a, man, look here. I don't know what, God is good. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, we have some good music going on.
Got some good music. Very good.
Yeah.
That's what's up. But, I just want to go ahead and say this. No, you guys are right. Thank you for being here on Old School Tuesday. Turn Up. You guys are episode 38. This show has come a long ways. Next month will mark 2 years of the show being out. And you guys are right. There has been a lot of artists, but to me, you guys are legends as well. I just like to give artists their flowers while the artists are still here. You guys had an amazing long 40 years. And like I said, it's hard to see artists even go this far and to know your music. Like you guys talked about House Party. I grew up. That was one of my movies, House Party 2. But let me ask you guys, to see people like Kid and Play to sample your music, put your music in their movie, what was that feeling like when you got that phone call and to know, hey, they about to use our music for you guys and for their movie? Like, what was that feeling like to hear that, when you guys got that phone call?
It was interesting because back then we were just playing and just doing what we do, and then all of a sudden here they come. Your song is in a movie. The only thing I know, I said, well, let me look at the movie and see where it's at.
I can tell you where it's
at. And then when you see it, it's like you're happy, but you've done the song in front of so many crowds. I mean, because when you have a hit, everywhere you go, you play that hit. When you go out on tour, back then, it's not like it is now. Back then, when you went on tour, you went on tour. You was out 3 and 4 months with a set of groups that might be Ripple, the Commodores, Ohio Players, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. And you'd be out there for 3 months with them. Well, in that 3 months, every time you hit the stage, you do the same show. You don't have time to change it up. You're not going to change it up. So that song that you see in the movie, you've done it so many times, you just say, wow, the song is up there. It's happening. That's all you can say, is happening.
Yeah.
But I get more excited now when I see it than I did back then, because I only see these shows every once in a while. Then when the song comes out, I say, dang, that's right. It was in that show.
That's right. Yeah.
So
that's the same. Well, it's the same. It's the same thing. When I see different things like with Tyler Perry, that movie he had out, Diary of a Black Woman.
Yeah, Diary of a Black Woman.
Yeah, they play.
We did Dazz in that, and Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, different stuff in that. But like I always say, when you see stuff like that, that's a blessing.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah, because it's and it's still going on.
This is stuff we did 40 years ago. This is not current stuff,
but it's still in there.
It's still in there.
Yep.
Yeah. But to know that, I see it as new generation. What House Party people like? Well, House Party 2. That was for my generation. So that introduced my generation to you all's music. Then you have Tyler Perry. Another generation comes along and introduce you guys' music to that generation. But before all of this, like in the beginning, before the music and everything, what really prompted you all to just to sit there? Like, who or what convinced you all to pick up to be musicians, the instruments that you all play? Like, what inspired you to, play instruments?
Well, actually, my family was a musical family. My mother played keyboards, my aunts and everybody played keyboard. They played saxophone and trumpet player, and drummer and all this. I came up with that. So being around that, I learned, from that. The instruments, I always wanted to play, trombone and trumpet, sax and flute. I had that interest of playing all these different instruments. So that's what actually brought it up with me. I played in this, the school band, and went to college, and, played in the Savannah State College band, and majored in music. So, that gave me that idea, of being in music and being around it.
Yeah, for me, my mother was a singer, but we didn't have a lot of musicians in our family, but we had singers. My cousin slash sister is Luke G's mother, and we started the group out Ripple with her. We had a song way back then, the Intruders had done it, but we redid it and called it, instead of Cowboys the Girls, it was called Girls the Boys. And it did real well up in the Midwest. And then when I was younger, I was in church, of course, and the music director for the youth choir heard me play, and I was 10 years old, and the youth choir didn't start to 16. She said, "I want you to play for the youth choir." I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And so I played for that. And then from there, I wanted to just stay in music. And in school, I used to play in school back then. They had a thing called the harpsichord. I played the harpsichord. I was in plays. And then I just decided that we wanted to hit the road. And we got blessed when we hit the road. We had a hit record. And it's just something, if it's in you, it's in you. You don't think about it. You just do it. A lot of times you're going to run into people who say, "Why are you doing that? Why don't you just get a regular job?" and da 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 da. You're going to hear all of that, but you got to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself and get to that cliff and jump off without a parachute, don't know what's going to happen, but you got to do it. You got to believe in it. And if you believe in it, I understand. I believe I can fly, because when we left, we had nothing. We just hit the road. That's what we did. Nothing. And we ended up with a major hit. So if everything is possible, you just got to believe in yourself, stick with it, and it can happen.
Yeah, you got to believe, just like Curtis said. I could go back in 1971. I moved from Savannah, Georgia. That's my home. I moved from there to Atlanta, and I went to the underground. And when I went down to the underground, I sat in with a group down there and played trombone. And the people down there, they heard me. They said, "Man, what you doing? You need to come on back up this way and play with us." I said, "Oh, okay." So actually, I came back and I started from there at underground Atlanta. And before I knew it, I was playing different clubs, in the area. And that's how Curtis and I met back during that time, And I met all the fellas in Brick, you know. So that's how it all happened. Reggie, we had Reggie, yeah, but we lost Reggie.
Yeah, we lost Reggie.
Yeah, but we had and everything. But the fellows, they were all that together. It was 5 of us, and we worked together and got it done. That's Reggie right there.
Right there.
Yeah, and it was, in fact, next year on the 15th is when we lost him. But he was a great guy.
Yeah,
I call him the GOAT, because he was actually a great writer. He could write. "You ain't gonna hurt nobody." We don't want to, sit down. I helped on that too. We don't want to sit down and just different songs he did. "Ain't gonna hurt nobody." Dazz. You know what I mean? So it all came together and became a big hit for us.
Yeah. Funny thing about how it is, when I first got down to Atlanta and we got our apartments, the bass player for Brick, Ray Ransom, we lived right next door to each other in apartments. And he used to come over to my apartment. We'd all jam together. And that was when we first got down here. And when I first heard Brick's song, I was in New York at the Apollo Theater, and I heard their song. I said, "That's Brick," you know. And so I said, "Dad, gone, man." I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
And so we just I guess Jimmy and I was just meant to be together, and we love it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we had Eddie Hines, Eddie, all the good guys was right there,
right there.
Yeah, so we just still have them. It's a funny thing about what's going on.
They freeze.
When I look at, huh?
Oh no, I'm here. Okay, you guys froze, but we back.
Oh, you there?
We back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying, you look at the group, and you remember all the things that happened, and things, and things move so fast.
They move.
Time is moving fast. Whatever you thinking you're gonna do, you better go on and do it.
That's right.
And that's the way it is. So we just flat out happy about everything that's going on with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very happy.
You never know how your career is gonna go. Go ahead, young lady.
No, I was just wondering one thing. Who came up with you all style? Because in this video, he's playing that style. I'm looking at the fashion, the clothes, and everything. I know it's the 70s, but how do you guys come up with your style, the look that you wanted to be when you were on stage?
Okay, well, actually, we went to it was a leather store. I can't remember the full name, but it was a leather store, and they had these different styles. So when I look at myself with that, with the fur around my neck, you know what I mean, and everything, and it fit together. If all the guys had a certain style to it. Then there was a situation where we would wear boots too, with our outfits. You know what I mean? But that was the thing then, Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah.
Man, you all did that. That is an amazing. Like, I love the way the video, you guys up are killing it. You on the stage, you doing your thing. I mean, don't you guys miss moments like this? You don't get that no more. You go to a concert, like the feel, the presence of the artist on stage. You don't get stuff like this anymore. Don't you miss these kind of days and everything when it used to just be this what it used to be right here in this video? It's like you don't get that anymore now with artists.
Yeah, well, that's why right now with Jimmy and Curtis, we express ourselves that way. You know what I mean? On stage, you got to, you got to actually jam with them and make people feel what you're doing. And so happen that's still going on with Jimmy and Jimmy and Curtis.
Right.
We can give that to people where there's where they can really feel that. Right. And that's what I found out. That's what it really is. Just like you say. A lot of artists don't do that. But that's one thing I believe in. I believe in making them jump up and jam.
Yeah. Then Luke G, he takes the time to come out and listen to us because we're a duo. And naturally we use tracks. And when Luke G comes to hear us, when we hit that stage, we sound like a full band, and the excitement is there, and we be jamming. I mean, you
can feel the excitement.
It's tight, and you would think that we were at a concert. I mean, we could be in a restaurant, and they're gonna when we start playing our songs, they're gonna jam.
Yeah, they can actually, you can feel it. That's the main thing. Making people feel what you're doing.
Right.
And that's actually happening.
That's happening.
Yeah, and we have to thank Luke G for for what he's doing. For the band.
Yeah.
For Curtis and Jimmy. Because that's. I don't know what I would do with old boy, but he all right.
When we get the band be on stage, we hit the stage, the band is up there with us, and we say, "Let's go."
Yeah, that's right. He's right there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And we
I
rock
like
the
that.
house.
I like that you guys said about feeling your music, because that you like when you hear music, because music is everything and whatever you're listening to. But when you hear music, it takes over you and everything. But when you hear you guys, you hear your song comes on the radio, or you in the club
Yeah.
somewhere, and the minute you hear Dazz or Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, you up dancing and jamming. You boom, you hit dance moves. It's the feeling, it's just the energy of your music and the way it
Right.
brings people out when you're in music. I know me, because I'm being a car acting a fool when I'm hearing your music, but that's another here or there. But I'm acting a fool because I just love music in general. But it's just, don't you guys like, that's where it comes to now when they're saying about, I don't know what you guys have been hearing about R&B music. They asking what happened to R&B. R&B, I feel like it's not the same anymore. You don't get how R&B, when I was growing up, you had the 90s R&B, the 2000s. R&B is not R&B anymore. What you guys' take on R&B, and where is it? What would you like to see if you guys wanted to see if it? Do you think R&B has, strongly went away, or it's just not where it is anymore?
Well, I feel like it's actually happening because I take like Luke G. Now Luke G, he's very outstanding, in producing music. Okay, Luke is very well about that, and Luke can take the old school and put with the new school. Okay, and that's going on now. Okay, that wasn't around for a while, but he is doing that now, and people are beginning to listen to that. One part there you had beats. You just had a beat going on,
That's all you
and
had.
somebody may take and rap on it.
Yeah.
They might sing a little something on it, but it's more than that going on today now. The people are beginning to really listen to the old music and to the new style that Luke has, and so it's making a difference in this music.
Yeah. When rap came in, the younger generation put the instruments down. There weren't many people playing instruments. They were working songs in a computer. They could move notes around. They did that for a decade or so. And then so R&B lost the human feel. It was a computer feel. And Jimmy and I went through that era because we had the duo. We used a drum machine. I played bass and chords. We could play anything that was out there because they had quit using the feel. But Jimmy and I were able to take those same songs and we would play them with feeling because we would play them. We never quit playing R&B.
That's it.
We never quit playing it.
Never.
And when we got to Luke G, he heard it and say, "That's bad." We said, "Okay, whatever." And then he would take it and put the new day feel to it
and
sound to it.
Right.
And it's R&B. I mean, we never quit playing R&B, but if when Jimmy and I do something, it sounds like we did it in 1970 because that's the way we play. That's just the way we play. We're the old funketeers. Well, they don't. I don't even know if they use the word funk anymore. I don't know, but that's what we that's what we play.
Yeah, you give them that. Give them that funk feel.
Yeah, we play funk. and Luke would take it and make it something else, whatever. Yeah. And see, that's funk they playing up there, right? That's funk.
Yeah, give them that funk feel.
Not only is it funk, but you all were on the show Soul Train, and that's back then that was a big deal for artists back then. Do you guys remember when you first appeared on the Soul Train and being on this show? What was that momentum for you all like?
Oh, I mean, that was a great feeling to be on Soul Train. I mean, it was hard to explain because when you got on there and we was doing Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, we came back and did Doozic, and I mean that was just a feeling. And to see the crowd out there on the floor dancing while you on stage, that was just unreal. Yeah, that was I said, boy, you never forget stuff like that.
Yeah.
Never.
It's
Yeah.
like you wish shows like that were still out. Soul Train, Showtime at the Apollo, but now you have, of course, American Idol, and then you have like The Voice.
Yeah.
But it's never going to be like it was the originals. Like I said, Soul Train or Showtime at the Apollo.
No.
It's not shows like that anymore because those like Soul Train really allow you to see the artist, hear the music. You can sit there and learn the latest dance moves on while you're watching Soul Train, and it just allow you to just have fun, just watch the show. You don't get shows like that no more. It's like everything that we used to have back then. Now a new generation come along and things have
Right.
evolved when it comes to music. Like we was talking about with R&B music. R&B, they said it's never. Do I think R&B is going to be the same? No, it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be like it used to be. But with the new generation, they can turn it around and make it something different, make it something unique. But as you
Right.
can see, everybody's sampling. What's you guys take on new generation with sampling all the old school music?
Curtis.
Well, I look at people like Beyonce with the Isley brothers. Beyonce doesn't need the Isley brothers. The Isley brothers doesn't need Beyonce, but they collaborate and they come up with great music because that's what was missing. They brought it back together. A lot of people are doing that now, but if you notice, they're going back getting old school songs, just like Black Eyed Peas. They sampled Ola Ola A. They didn't have to do it, but you get that old school feel with the new school, and until we get another generation that's actually playing um, R&B, they're going to be doing that for a while, because now the people are the younger people want to feel what we felt with R&B years ago, and they're not getting it with the younger people because they weren't playing instruments that time. Now the kids are picking up instruments again, and you give it another 5 6 years, maybe
Mm-hmm.
10, then R&B is going to be all the way back because they're learning our licks. That's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're listening to our music and they're playing it, and it's going to be in their bones. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's I mean they that's what they do. I mean, if you listen to a lot of the artists out there now, Bruno Mars, all of them, they're getting the
Mm-hmm.
old school grooves,
Yep.
and they're jumping on it, putting a little twitch to it. But they got to go back and get that old school groove in order to be able to do what they're doing. They're not coming up with something new. They're getting something old that's already been there, established R&B, and they're
Mm-hmm.
jumping on it.
Yep.
So it's a good thing for Jimmy and I because we never quit playing R&B. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
we can do a song and sing on it. It's R&B. We can take that same song, take the vocals out, and play the horns and do solos and stuff in it. Then it's considered jazz.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's, it's a funny thing, but that's just the way. That's the way.
That's where it
That's the
is.
way. That's the way it is. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
When there's someone just said, you're so right about today's kids putting down instruments and jumping on computers to make sounds and beats, but they've lost their way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true. That is
but
very
that was
true.
for that era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's what they were doing when rap came in. It wasn't room for R&B. They had a beat, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them grooves were strong, but they weren't R&B. They were grooves. I mean, back when Jimmy and I were playing, you had to write a song, and then you had to come up with a dynamite change. Your change come in, and then you come back in, and you might go to change and then vamp out. These days, once they get a groove, that's it. They ain't changing. They ain't doing nothing. They gonna ride that whole groove,
Yeah.
the whole 3, 5, 7, 9. It doesn't make a difference. They're gonna ride it. They're not gonna change. There's gonna be nothing different in the song at all. And R&B means it's rhythm and blues.
It's
You got
rhythm
you
and
you
blues.
you got to do make some changes and let the music move you. And the music for a long time got away from that. Once they found that beat, they go get all their friends, and everybody got a part. You have a song with 10 rappers on it, and you have a CD with 30 songs on it. You know,
Yeah.
that's unheard of.
It really is. It really is. I'd like Chris Brown actually did one of his songs 2 years ago. He had like 40 something songs, and I'm like, of what? Like, what you doing all that music? But I get it, but it's like back in the day when I used to go to especially Walmart, get a CD, it would be like 20 something songs, like 13 songs for like 20 something dollars. You don't get that no more because what happened digital. So now if you want music, you can go straight to iTunes, buy one song that you want for $1.29, and boom, you're
That's
done.
right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's right.
That's music has changed. And it has, and it's like now you don't hear someone saying CDs. You're like, what's a CD? Like, because on CDs you usually have the notes, who wrote the song, the artist
Right.
introduction of this. You don't have that. You go to iTunes by the click of a button. Boom! I download that one song. I just need off that one album. I don't have to buy a whole album anymore.
Yeah.
No, they build their own radio stations now. CDs are more for people like Jimmy and I that go out and we play live, and we can sell the CDs live. Other than that, it's got to be on all the digital platforms, and like you said, they can choose the song that they want, and then even the way you get paid now, the streaming music now, everything has changed in the industry, and us old heads, dinosaurs, we had to get used to this new wave of things that's going on with the way they pay. It's just a whole nother generation.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but
Yeah.
you know, it's just different now. We used to go, as you saying, when we would go to a city, the radio station would be playing your song. You would have to get up. It'd be a certain time. You're going to go to the record stores. Back then, they called them record stores, and you were going to be signing CDs and the whole nine. All of that. They don't have that anymore. You
No,
know,
they don't.
they don't have it anymore. So that personal thing that you used to get to do back in the days with R&B, it's no longer there. So it's just a different world of music out here now, you know. And we were blessed to be able to go through all the generations with all the different changes, and still be here. And Jimmy and I both agree that one of our biggest blessings was running into Luke G. Well, I didn't run into him; that's my nephew. So, but but I mean, the blessing is we're compatible with him, and then Jimmy's son, Sleepy Brown. I've been me and Jimmy been together for 40 years. We've been doing music. Sleepy's been hearing us for that many years. The minute we got with Luke G and started doing this music, he stepped in, and number one, he wrote a song for us. It's on our CD, and another song he came in and collaborated with us on doing the drums and thing. So we got Outkast and Goody Mob because of the way we're doing things now. They've jumped on board with us. As a matter of fact, we're doing a jazz album with Outkast. They're writing an album for us, and Luke G is involved in that also. So, like I said, the blessings God has given us is just all of a sudden He just opened up the windows of the sky, and we just, I tell Jim, we're on that magic carpet ride. Now let's go, let's roll, brother.
Yeah, that's the main
Yes.
thing. You know, I find out. You know, the amazing thing about the whole thing is we got 4 generations.
There you go.
We got 4 generations of people that's been listening to us from kids all the way up to now. And they know those songs that we're doing now. And, you know, the solos and stuff like that, I learned those things over 40 years ago.
Yeah.
On flute, that I'm playing, when I'm playing the flute, I'm playing different things on the flute. And during the time, you know, people used to tell me, say, man, you need to use that sound. You got use your flute and put that in, you know, in your solo, man, and do this and it worked out.
Worked out.
The flute worked out very well, you know. And I tell you, like I said before, I love what we're doing. Curtis and I, you know, and it's a wonderful thing.
And when we're in the restaurants and different places we play, we're blessed to be able to sit up there and look at a little kid, 3 years old, jump out on the dance floor and start dancing. Their parents have to dance with them. Then we'll see somebody 15-year-old dancing. Then you got another person of 30, and then you got somebody that's 60.
They all dancing.
They all dancing.
they're still dancing on your songs, you know. So that is something, you know, to see that all these people still know the music.
Yeah, they still know it and they still feel it.
Yeah.
And we're blessed to still be able to play and project that feeling from us to the audience, because if the music wasn't good, they wouldn't get up and dance.
That's right.
No.
So
no.
The music is good, and we look at it. Even the single we have out now, I'm So Into You. That every time we play that, before it's over, everybody in the room is singing the hook.
Singing the hook. They're singing it.
You know, and so when you get things like that happening, you don't have to. We already know it's a hit.
Yeah.
We already know it's not like we have to wonder about it. We are, like I said earlier in the show, we are A&R now. We're the ones that knows what's gonna hit, because we play these songs at the show and we get the crowd reaction. Matter of fact, they'll come back and request we do it again. You know, so again, and we got steady gigs where we have crowds that are coming in. Some of them come in to see us, some of them have never seen us. But when they come in, we get, I mean, and this is a crossover tune. Our music is crossover music, because years and years ago it was black music, white music, and all that. Now, with the society change, they white, black, green, and yellow like you. And so when you get all of them liking you like that, we have the same amount of people in the well, if you want to call a black place, they like it. The same amount of people in the white places, they like it. And when you go to white places, they will tell you that's a crossover tune. We love that tune. We love that tune. You know, so we listen to that. And this is young and old. We had Friday night.
Yeah.
We had some younger people in there that said they were going to bring all their friends back because they loved the song, they loved the group. And then we had a lady up there, she had to be 60, 65. She said the same thing. She said, I love your music. I'm going to come back. And you just, while you're playing, you're looking at them. And all of a sudden they start bobbing their head and patting their feet. And you say, dang, they into it, ain't they, Jimmy?
Right.
You say, yeah. And so we start having fun. You know, what it is. Yeah. And this is music that God gave us. This is music that we wrote. And that's the funnest part about making it is when you start to make it with a song, because that song is exciting to other. It was exciting to us when we were in the studio. And then all of a sudden you're seeing people like the song like you like the song.
Yeah, you know you got something.
You know you got something. That's the best feeling
in the world.
In the world, to see that happen. You know, and then you look back at your team, and Jimmy and I try to tell, if we'll call Luke and we'll call Marlon McNick, we'll call him and say, look, this tune right here, this is the tune that's working. You know, and it's just working, and that's not even the one that we think is going to be. No one's heard the rest of it.
Yeah,
we got it out in London right now. We put Into You out there, and then they heard the whole project, and they said they're going to feature the whole album Wednesday. They're going to feature the whole album, and they said Thursday they'll let us know which one they want to push. Because they said they don't want to be responsible for choosing the wrong one. They're gonna let the people decide.
Yeah.
So anytime you got it where you got multiple hits on there, and they don't want to choose one, they want to let the public choose it. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a blessing. So
yeah.
Yes, you got okay. So you guys over here telling your stories, but y'all fans has been writing questions left and right.
Oh,
They've been here making comments. I don't know if you all can see the comments while you've been
oh, okay.
talking, but comments is coming up left and right. People been asking questions. We done had other artists, singers have been in here. Okay, so I have one lady. She asked Tanya, "What made you choose to play the jazz flute in R&B funk song? That's the baddest flute solo I've ever heard. And it made me want to play flute instead of clarinet."
Okay, well, actually, during that particular time, disco was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to make it different, we wanted to add jazz. That's why Dazz, disco jazz. You see, that's why Dazz came up. So that we named it that, disco Dazz. The flute solo made the difference. My solo, man, I played jazz lines and, along with the funk, and that made the difference when I was able to do that. You know, so that's what exactly what that was. It was disco and jazz to make it, to make it disco Dazz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Dazz came up. That's yep, that's it.
Famous flute solo.
Okay. We got okay, Darky Speed Gates is in here. She said these kids have no idea what A&R is. That's totally missing today. Bring that back so needed. Please explain what A&R is so your fans can know what because you guys kept talking about A&R, but explain to them what it is. And of course we know it's missing from today's music because we can tell.
Back in the day, when you were with a record company, you would do an album, and then it would be a group of people in the record company that would go in a room and they would listen to your project, and that group of people would choose which record was going to be the one that they got behind. That was the A&R department, and that's why I said they didn't really know. It was a shot in the dark. It was a shot in the dark for them. Well, for us, we're blessed that it's not a shot in the dark because we're gigging, as I told you, and we can tell them which one it is. We don't have to wait on and that group of people. Not saying they didn't know what they were doing, because if they did, if everybody knew everything, all of us would be rich. But we have a better shot at telling you what to go with than you do sitting in a room with a group of people. You got 10 people there, they're listening to the song, and and five of them say this is the song, and that's be what they would go with. But you don't have the listening ears of the people that are really good, the consumers that are going to be buying the record or liking the record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like sometimes with record companies, they get it right, or sometimes certain songs they get it wrong. Because some songs you do
Right.
hear artists will say, some artists will say this song, certain songs you hear on like Quiet Storm, and they be the songs the artists will say that was the song that the record company didn't want to be played on the radio, but it's all about the public. Like, what do we want to hear? And then we hear the right song. It's like, no, sometimes the fans, we get it right, and the record company can actually sometimes get it wrong. I have had artists say certain songs they had out, and they'll be like, the record company, they want that song out. It's like, then they got it wrong because the fans got it right. Because they go with what they want to hear. Especially if you play it, you hear it on the radio. You call in. Back in the day, you used to call in to the radio station. Hey, I want to hear this song. You keep going and keep playing and keep playing. So yeah, I totally agree with that. Like A&R has definitely, you can tell nowadays they you don't have it anymore. And if you pay
No.
attention, nowadays certain songs you say has really come through the radio, and you like, like, let's say for instance, like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, the song they did is like, how did that even get passed on the radio? The WAP song. But it's like songs like that, you look at like, no, but it is what it is. It's all about what the fans want to hear.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And even with the way,
what they want to hear.
yeah, and the way that
Yes.
it's
Yeah,
going,
it's all.
when you put your project out there, and the way they track every song has got a barcode and all the above. So once you get it out there, you know when they go to your page how many hits you're getting on a song. So that's another way you know what's next, you know, or what one to get behind. Because if you got one song that's been bought and they bought 100 of them, you got another song that then bought 500 of them, where you know, hey, this song here is catching fire, you know. But then another thing that's funny about it now, and we know this from back in the day, that certain areas like certain things. I mean, one song might be hot in Philadelphia, and another song is hot in Miami. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you know, you go where your songs are hot, and you go there and deal with the song that is hot in that area. You know, pretty soon it'll all come down to where it'll be one song, but when you go, you'll have just like with Brick. I mean, Ripple was a kind of like a one hit wonder. We had a lot of political things going on because of the people we were with, the company and all that, but one thing about Brick, they had a string of hits, but all those hits didn't come out of just one place. I mean, they were, one would be hitting over here, one would be hitting over there. Then it comes together. So when you go out, everybody knows Dazz. Everybody knows Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. Everybody knows We Don't Want to Sit Down. You know, but different areas like different songs, and that's where you're gonna tour. If you got something hot in the Midwest, you're gonna be touring in the Midwest. That's exactly where you're gonna be touring. Then something else might be hot over in Florida, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on that coast playing, and you're gonna play, and then pretty soon you're hot in all the areas, and then next thing you know, they want you in Japan, they want you here,
Mm-hmm.
they want you there. You know, so it's just it's the walk of the music business. It's been that way.
Mm-hmm.
Some things, you know, they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it's
Yep.
always going to be that way. You're going to get hot. Like now, a lot of the artists are breaking across the water first, and then they come back
Mm-hmm.
here because the United States is different than it was. We used to be the powerhouse of getting everything out there. But now, because we had Motown, we had Gambling and Huff, we had all of these stacks, we had all of these monster record companies that the whole world went by. We had the Beatles, we had the Jackson Five, we had all
Mm-hmm.
these different artists that the world loved. And now it's different. All these artists have went across the water, and they're finding that they're starving for music over there. And
Mm-hmm.
so you if you listen to the internet stations over there, you'll hear stuff being played over there like it was released yesterday, and they're crazy about the artists, you know. And here, they got into rap and everything. You better not go in a club playing that stuff. They'll look at you like you crazy. But it's not that way across the water. We know because we're in the market and we have our songs in those markets, and you tell somebody here's something, well, we were number 10 over there. They don't know what you're talking about. They don't even understand it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a market over there that loves what we're doing, and it takes a minute in the United States. You gotta bust and grind.
Yep.
It's a lot you gotta do in the States. It's
Mm-hmm.
not an easy venture, but the one thing I can say about Jimmy and I, we were blessed to have a past that was
Mm-hmm.
really beneficial to the both of us, and having that makes it where we can do things like be on your show, you know, because we might have been able to be on there if we were just Jimmy and Curtis. I don't know. But Jimmy Brown of Brick, Curtis Reynolds of Ripple, and when you got Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, you got Ola Ola A, all these songs have been in movies and longevity of things. It makes it a story that people want to hear. So our past helped us be where we are right now.
Yeah.
Yes, most definitely. Congratulations. Not only do you have fans in here, but you guys had a singer in here. You had Superwoman herself, Karen White, was in here. Even she said, Brick is everything. Salute to the masters. She said she loved
Yeah.
Brick. She was in here earlier. She made a comment and everything. What did, like, let me ask you, is just having a career success, do you guys think, what is your take on, do you think artists should own their own masters?
Yeah, groups should own their own masters. You know, that's something that when you go in and you record, you know, your music, you wanna, you know, you wanna have that. You know, you need your masters. You know, a lot of groups don't have their masters. A lot of groups wind up selling their masters or whatever. But it's best to, you know, to hold on as much as you can to your masters.
And then when you say own your own masters, a lot of that has to do with who's paying for the sessions,
Yeah.
who's who's doing what. You can't go in just because you wrote the song and walk out with the master. Somebody had to be paying. And you got publishing companies that you got to have a publisher, and you got to have all that stuff in place to own your master.
You know, own it. Yeah, you can
You
own
got
it.
to do that. So, you know, it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
You know, a lot easier said than done. And when that music gets out there, a lot of people put a lot of money in there to get you where you are. And the only way they can get their money back is by having a percentage or owning the masters, you know, and that's where a group has to come in and say, okay, we're going to go and record all this on our own, and then we're going to promote this and, you know, make it happen. And a lot of times you have no way to make it happen. You can throw something on YouTube, you can put it on CD Baby, you can do all those things, but there's a whole lot more to it than that. You got to have some money or the contacts, I must say. You got to have the contacts to get it in the places. You can't just, years ago, you could walk into a radio station, give a DJ $500 and he would spin it. And you can't do that anymore. It's not like that anymore. It's a lot more.
It's totally different.
It's totally different now. So for and another thing about the average real musician, they're not going to work a job. All they're going to do is play music. And if you don't have a hit, you don't make that much money playing music locally. You really don't. You know, so you got to have something to fall back on until you make it, and then you're in a better position to to make it in music. You know, and that's where we're blessed because we're able to finance our own project, and that's through the gifts that God gave us down through the years. You know, I own a body shop. Luke G, he owns a studio. Jimmy's been doing stuff so long, he's just blessed. Everybody and their mama wants Jimmy playing, and because I mean, he's a one man horn section, and I tell him all the time, how many people do you know that can play five horns or four horns? We're getting ready to introduce the soprano sax. We're getting ready to bring that in. But this man plays all of them, and the difference is he doesn't just pick it up and make noise. When he plays a trumpet, he sounds like a trumpet player. The sax, he sounds like a sax player. The trombone, he sounds like a trombone player. I mean, the flute. Everybody know he sounds like a flute player. So you don't get that often. And he writes and he sings. So when we want to own our own masters, we have deserved to own. We've paid the cost to be the boss, and you got to have the money to do that. And so the answer to your question is yes, it is best that you own them, but you got to be in a position to own them, and then be able. If you're sitting on a master that you can't promote, you're better off having somebody give them the master. You're still going to make money because you're the songwriter. Anytime you're the songwriter, you're going to make some money. But you know, on the other side of that coin, you know, the masters, if somebody samples you, they got to come to you and get the stems and everything. That all comes from the having the masters. Whoever has the masters, they got to contact you, or whoever has the publishing on it, they got to contact you. All of that comes with that. So owning the masters, that you really have to look into what owning a masters really means, you know, and be willing, like I said, to invest in yourself and hold on, and maybe you can get a distribution deal. I don't know. Everybody has a different way they want to go.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. Someone did say, Darkest said, thank you for telling the truth. It's more than a notion owning your masters. That's what she said.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's
it's
real.
A lot.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And Tanya said, it seems like the market overseas is in Europe and even Japan are more accepting and eager for our music than over here sometimes.
Absolutely. That's what I was telling you. They're over there. They're starving for our kind of music. They don't have it. Uh, they a lot of musicians here that go over there to play. They don't come back.
Yeah, that's like that.
It's like they go over there. They're looked at different. The market over there, they pay you better. The whole nine.
Yeah.
I mean, and United States it's a hard this is a hard place.
You know, they know your music too.
They know
when I played over there, when I played up, you know, we played all our music over in Japan.
They know it.
And they know the music. They they into you, they look into you and know what you about and everything. It's amazing, you know, how they they know the music.
They know it.
And so it's more respectable. That's what I must say. They love what they hear, over there.
The thing about it, when over there, especially when you go and they don't even speak English, that means
that's right.
They're feeling the music.
That's what it is.
They're feeling the music. They're not hearing nothing about what you saying. Don't know nothing about the content of the song. They just hear the groove.
Yeah, they love it.
They love it. You be looking out there saying, they out there jamming.
Right. Yeah.
I know they don't understand what we're saying.
You didn't know it.
This is how I know that you guys as fans right now, everybody is joining you so much. I've got a text from somebody just told me they got a glass of wine, is up here watching the show. I got one lady is on the floor in the bathroom in the middle of a tornado watching you all talk right now. That's how much your fans are enjoying your interview right now. Not that the woman is in the bathroom, during the tornado. That's the part that's what, like, shout out to that lady. Shout out to you, Tanya. We got you, honey. But she's on the floor right now in her bathroom. There's a tornado going on where she's at. And she's too busy watching the show right now, watching you all talk. And she has made all kind of comments and everything like that. She even said, sounds like Prince was right when he told Warner Brothers any artist who doesn't own his masters is a slave to the master. And when they refused, he wrote slave on his face.
Yeah. I mean, owning the masters, you are definitely in a better position.
Yeah,
but you got to be able to have the masters and then still get out there and make sense of it. Because what's the sense of having a master if you can't go anywhere? You're just setting up on a master. That's it. And so when when Prince did what he did, if you look at it, Prince had already made it. Yeah. And so he can sit back and say,
own his master.
You know, I mean, he did Purple Rain, and he came up with, Prince came up with all kind of things, but he had the capital to do it with.
Yeah, that's right. You got to have
and then he came out and told artists the best thing to do is own your own master. But he didn't say how much money it takes to own your own masters and for it to make sense. that part you had to figure out. And then, so a lot of them did it. And the thing is, if you own your own masters, you can sell 10,000 copies and be very comfortable. But if you don't own your own masters, you may not get $1,000 out of the whole shebang, because all the promotion and everything the record company put in, you got a thing they call chargeback. Why everybody, when you get on that plane, when you go in that studio, when you get that hotel room, it's all chargeback. You're gonna pay it back. It's not free, and so it comes out of it comes out of it comes out of your money.
Period.
So yeah,
Remember, nothing's free in this world, so we already know that.
nothing
Nothing,
at all.
nothing.
Nothing.
Why would
Period.
you expect? Why would you expect masters? Anything? I mean, artists need to know. Like, what would you expect? Why would you expect your masters to be free? I know I read somewhere last month they gave Sierra her masters back. Just went on as giving hers back, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you had to pay for that. They just didn't care. I'm like, pretty sure you got to pay some money because you ain't about to get your masters for free. Ain't no way. I know Anita Baker. They said someone. I think Chance the Rapper paid for hers and she got hers back and everything. So yeah, and nothing is nothing never free in this world. So yeah.
No. And the pandemic, a lot of people had to sell their masters because they were under they were in a lifestyle which had them making XYZ, and they shut down where the musician couldn't make no money. They would just shut down. And so to survive, they were selling, and they knew they were getting beat, but at the same time, what do? I got to survive, And then once this pandemic was over, people are going back, buying their masters back. They're charging them. They're going to make a profit on it. They ain't going to just give it back you at cost. That's not the way it works.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
So
that's what that is.
What it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. What three things are you all most driven about?
What now?
Most driven about?
Yes. What three things are you most driven by? What is the most the three things that you're most driven by?
I'm driven by being able to create new music. That's my main thing. If I can continue in my lifetime to create new music all the time, I'm happy about everything. Okay, that's my bottom thing. As long as I can create, and as long as I have my ability to be able to play my instruments, that gives me everything in my life.
Yeah,
everything.
Same with me. I don't create like Jimmy and Luke G, but I contribute enough to where once I get something from them, I can do what I do and put things together, and we all rise to the top. There's no egos in our camp. It's not like I did this. There's no eyes over here, and so with it being like that, I enjoy business. I enjoy making things happen. I grew up in a family business back when it was really bad with the black and white things. We grew up and we had a black business, and we had to survive. We had to make it. And so with it being like that, I learned that you can get out here with an idea, and you can go and you can make it happen. With Jimmy and I, when we talked about, as I said earlier, this thing 40 years ago, it wasn't a matter of us not being able to do it back then. A lot of times we didn't have the finances, and it was no way. We couldn't go into studios and spend all that money. But now we're blessed where 40 years later, we got a studio through Luke. I got the body shop, which I can do a lot of things. And Luke is very reasonable with us. And so what inspires me is when we get in there, I know when we do something, we're going to get behind it. We're going to do a video. We're going to do everything.
Mhm.
We ain't got to go out and beg nobody and pay nobody no crazy prices because all of us know people. And that's what inspires me. It's fun to me. I just laugh and say, here we go. Let's go, y'all. What we going to do next? And Luke G will be on about, need to get the social media page. We needed this. We needed that. I said, okay. All right,
Make
whatever.
sure it happens.
What do you want next, man? And then and
You
that's
make sure it happens.
and that's what we do. So that's my
Yeah, and it's happening.
And it's happening.
You know, that's
Social
what it
media,
is. Everything is happening.
what are we gonna get? When are we gonna be able to see a movie about Brick? Like seriously, you guys really should really consider making a movie about you all, because you all, that's 40 years. That's a lot of stories people would love to hear.
Yeah, that is a lot of stories. You know, I've had people that want me to write a book, and also I think I'm gonna do that anyway, and tell about
Yeah.
this group. It's an amazing situation.
It was
with
a
Brick.
journey.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a real strong journey dealing with Brick. So that will happen. We're gonna do something. I can see that coming up.
Well, Luke G has been on me about doing a documentary with about Brick and Ripple, and I know he gonna do it. He's
Yeah, we're
going to
gonna do
do it.
something. Yeah.
And I keep telling Jimmy, I see us. Uh, this is powerful. The show we're on now. We got some more interviews coming up. I'm sure we're going to be on Unsung. Jimmy did that,
Yeah.
but the fact that Tyler Perry is right here in the city will be if once Luke G gets finished with the documentary, I ain't worried about it. Once someone like Tyler or Spike Lee or whoever sees it, they're going to go with it.
Yeah.
You know, but again, we got to take the initiative to do it.
To do that.
It's not going to walk to us and just sit in our lap. We got to put the time in, and that's another thing. Luke been in my ear and in my ear, and then here you come with it. Lord have mercy. We got to. We got to do something.
We're definitely gonna do something about that. Yeah.
But just know, if you write a book, you can just know you gotta throw it in there. I remember that time we wound up on Old School Tuesday Turnup, and we just turned up and we told our story. I mean, you could just drop us somewhere in there. I mean, if you just want to drop us.
Oh, you're gonna be you in there anyway.
You're gonna have to put it in there.
Yeah, you in there now. Yeah, like I said,
we're gonna put it in there.
It's an honor to be on here. When I looked at the other people you had on your show, I said, "Dang, Jimmy."
Yeah, hey, that's man, really good. That's wonderful.
We back out here, ain't we?
Oh yeah, that's right.
We back out here.
Yeah.
No, I really do. Thank you all, even you guys and the past artists that I had on here. You guys, like I said, you're episode 38. And I told you all during sound check we had the other day, we started with episode 1 was Evelyn Champagne King, and to go from her to where with you guys now, and then we done had people like our first male Howard Hewitt, we done had Lenny Williams, I have Milton Piper from Function, Greg Williams, the founder of Switch, Glenn Jones. We done had Chuck Rock and you Can't Go Kid comedians, Jimmy J. Lamont and MC Lightfoot. We done had everything. Then come month we will finally get our first gospel singer. She will be coming on. So I tell you, when I say thank you guys for being here, because you all allow me to interview you, and you took the time out and allow to come on this show and allow the fans to hear your story and listen to you guys' story and drop the gems, the knowledge. Everybody enjoying your fans. I had other singers in here.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
They're talking about sound effects. We got a DJ Rich Vibes in here from the UK, all the way UK. He's a DJ out there. We told you about the other day for Soundcheck. He's in here right now. He done came from the club. He's in here right now. I got another singer, Dr. Speed Gates, right here in Kansas City. We got all these artists that love you all a brick, and they just love your music and they grew up on your music, and to know that they're in here, and but to know that you guys are here and you guys allow me to interview you all, hey, that's a blessing. Like you guys said, it's a blessing to me, and I'm honored to have you all.
We thank
But
you.
thank you so much. But there is one question I gotta ask you all. What do you all want your legacy to be?
Well, my legacy is to be a strong man in the music business. They know that he stood up and played very strong. Every time he hit the stage, that's my legacy. Yeah. Just be a good musician.
That's a good. And I want to be an inspiration to the younger generation to let them know that you can get in the music industry, and if you stick to your guns, you may not be the front man, but you can still make it and have fun and enjoy your dream. It's not all about being the front man all the time. I tell Jimmy that all the time, man, look, go and take the lead, man. I ain't getting ready to mess with you. You and I do what we do. We've been doing it that way for 40 years and it works. You know, you just get in where you fit. God gave you a gift, and whatever gift God gave you, you roll with that gift, and you're gonna be all right. You know, so that's my, I was, you know, and that's the way I roll. That's the way him and I have rolled for 40 years. So I'm already living my legacy. And that's what I'm doing right now.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you all. And your fans, one person even said, thanks to Brick and all, great conversation. Tanya Blazer said, Jimmy, Curtis, Priscilla, and Tallboy, I'm really enjoying this show. Thanks to you for brightening up what could have been a scary time for her. So that's the one in the tornado is in the bathroom with the tornado. But yes, everyone has said they enjoyed this show and everything. So you guys, to let you all know, the interview portion is over. So that's over. But I'm gonna do what I'm about to get into right now is where I like to play this little game. If you guys seen Family Feud with Steve Harvey, this is Old School Tuesday Turnup version. I ask you 10 questions. You got 60 seconds to hurry up and answer whatever comes to your mind. And I just like to have extra fun with the artists before I get you all out of here. We're just gonna have real fun real quick. Just got you 10 easy, simple questions. And they quick too. Tallboy, let's get the music going. All right. Thank you all, and thank you guys for just being here. I really enjoyed your story and everything. And the fans love you all. They still making comments. That's why I was over here reading their comments, trying to figure out what to say to ask you all, because they was asking all kinds of questions over here.
Okay.
All right, Tallboy, let's get the music going. We're gonna ask these questions. Like I said, 10 questions. Real simple, real easy. It's gonna be a piece of cake. All right, favorite ice cream.
Chocolate.
Ice cream.
Favorite dish. Favorite dish.
Shrimp.
Chicken. Whatever.
Favorite movie.
Wow.
Favorite movie.
That's a rough one.
I don't know about the favorite movie.
Trading Place. I don't care.
Favorite comedian.
Favorite comedian.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah, Dave Chappelle. Yeah.
Favorite love song.
Favorite what now?
Favorite love song?
Love song.
Into You.
Into You. Okay. You know that.
Favorite color.
Black.
Black, yeah.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Sunset, yeah.
Chicken or ribs?
Ribs.
Ribs.
Grits with salt or grits with sugar?
No, grits with salt, no sugar.
Yeah.
You already know.
No, I'm a grits with sugar. I don't do the salt. All right, guys, name one artist and one group you would like to see come on Old School Tuesday Turn Up.
Graham Central Station, Larry Graham.
Yeah,
Okay.
Larry, Graham. Yeah.
Okay. Artist.
Artist.
But was that an art? Because the art, it's an artist. Name one artist in one group to come. So 2 different answers.
Oh, Larry Graham.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Group. Each one of you choose a different group.
From Function.
Earth, Wind and Fire.
Okay, that's good. Jimmy, choose another one. Cause Function's already been on. We had Felton.
Oh, they have been on. Lakeside been on. Lakeside been on.
No.
Lakeside.
No. Oh, that's good. Earth, Wind and Fire and Lakeside. That's good. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. Now, Jimmy,
Lakeside.
what's your favorite color? Because you said you didn't give a favorite. No, favorite ice cream. Yeah, favorite ice cream.
Oh, my favorite ice cream? Strawberry.
Okay.
Strawberry.
All right. Cool. Tomboy, you want to come in and answer questions? Okay. I'm cookies and cream myself, so. That's what I'm.
What's going on, brothers? How y'all doing?
Doing great, man.
Boy.
Did y'all enjoy it?
Yeah, man. I enjoyed it, man. It was
y'all
fun.
over there looking crispy over there. That's what I'm talking about. Dazz, was that like a big skate song or back in the day in the 70s or no?
Dazz.
Yeah,
Dazz was a big skate song because we went up into Canada, Montreal. We went up there and did when Dazz came out, we went up there and did doing some skating, and it was doing on Dazz. So Dazz is a strong song.
So my question is, did y'all get on skates? And did y'all do all the little moves? Because, you know, we got Cascade, we got Golden Glide here in Atlanta. So did you get out there and do the skating thing back in the day?
Yeah, I did it then, but I'm not going to do it now.
I done fell and I can't get back up.
I'm not going to do that.
You guys, what year did you start doing music? Like, just start doing music. I'm not saying that, you know, when you got your first hit. When did you start doing music?
Well, I started when I was 12 years old. And the first instrument that I played was baritone horn. And from that instrument, I went to trombone. Then I learned sax, flute, you know, and all the other instruments. Within 2 years' time, I was playing the instruments I'm playing now. I learned that fast.
That's great. I started playing when I used to take piano lessons when I was real young. I was forced to take them. I didn't like it. I didn't want to read. I just heard music. And so after a while, after I got a chance, I got to just branch off into it. Like I said, through the church, I was able to just get and play. That was when I was 10. And it just kept going and going and going. And it got stronger and stronger in me to just want to be a musician.
Okay, so based off of that question that you guys said, from when you guys first started, I guess the second half of that is you've seen it come from when you guys were 10 and 12 years old to that younger artist or that artist that's starting out. Do you think that they should pick up instruments, or is it just really all about the vocals, or is a combination of all of it? Like, if it was a perfect world for you, what would you say if there was a criteria? What would that criteria be for you to be an actual artist in your own words?
Well, in my words, and I say it all the time, everybody has a gift, and you feel that gift. If something's not for you, like for instance, I use myself as an example. I'm a very strong support player, but I'm not the going out front soloing. I don't do that as well as a lot of others. My strength God gave me is being a support player. So you know where your gift is, and when you're in your gift zone, you're happy no matter what anybody else thinks you should be doing. You're happy when you're there, and that's what you got to keep in mind all the time. Do what it is that's comfortable for you, and if it's a gift from God, can't nobody take it from you, and that's it, plain and simple.
Yeah,
so
that's basically it.
That's basically it.
That's the same thing, happened with me. Because when I turned 17, I had my own group and went to Apollo Theater and came in second place. I already knew. It comes to you, eventually you're going to know exactly where you're going when you get into the music business.
Yeah.
It's going to give it to you.
He's going to let you know.
Yeah. You're going to know exactly where you want to go. Even during that time, I was, picking up singing. I wasn't singing that much. I was playing, but I knew I could sing too within myself. So all that, all that came to be a part of it.
Yeah, you can't look at other artists and want to be them and say, "Well, I wish I could this." Everybody is not going to be like everybody.
Yep.
You got to go with what God gave you. If He made you a singer, be a singer. Maybe you weren't meant to be a singer and a piano player, or a singer and a flute player. Maybe you weren't a flute player. Maybe you're just a trombone player. But whatever that gift is, you will know. It's not like you got to search for it. You will, and like I said, with people like Jimmy, he's multi-talented. He can pick up a reed instrument, then he can pick up a brass. A lot of people can't do that. And even to go outside of just that, somebody like Luke, he can be a musician. He can be he can do photography. He can do recording. These are all gifts that God gave him. This ain't nothing that he sat down and studied and went to school for. And when God gives it to you, it's just there. That's it. Period.
Okay, that's what's up. Now, I guess my final question that I have for you guys, you guys have seen it all from the TV to radio, TV. Well, let me back up. Maybe even the newspaper, radio, TV, and then now we are now gone into live streaming. How have you, quite naturally, you didn't know what live streaming was until the pandemic for a lot of people, right? But to be able to see how you can connect with people, and I'm not necessarily saying connecting, like what are your thoughts of like this new form of technology that's out here? Quite naturally, we have social media, but then also you have this technology of live streaming. What are your thoughts on this new technology that's out there?
I think it's one of the biggest things that can happen for a musician. That's one of the things. Well, it can happen for anybody that's any kind of business.
Right.
You can get your business out there now. You don't have to be, that's what technology do. You don't have to be here or there. Everything is right there for you to make it happen. And that's going on right now, me talking to you. That's on the show. You know what I mean? So I think, personally, just me, I think technology is one of the best things that could ever happen for people, period.
You've got to be made to understand it. I was toying around with it, but again, Jimmy and I we got with Luke G, and he showed us the way around the block. When you start talking about music for Jimmy and Curtis and our age demographic and all that, the average person our age don't know how to go on no internet and download nothing.
No, they don't.
They don't know how to do that.
Right.
Right.
So, and I didn't know a lot about it, but when we got with Luke, he said, you got to have this social media page. You got to do this. You got to do that. And when he started doing it, I seen everything start going because that's today.
That's what it is.
And I didn't understand it like I understand. Now, I still don't. He'll send me something, and I'll say, I didn't get it. He said, go to this, go to that.
Yeah,
and I'm
able
like,
to pull it up.
And I'm able to pull it up, but I still haven't I'm not all the way in the game yet. But boy, look here, I'm a whole lot closer.
I'm getting closer to things. That's right, man.
I guess this is a bonus question, and some of the ones who follow me and know who I am, I guess I gotta ask: are y'all team Android or team iPhone? Choose wisely, guys. Choose wisely.
Well, I have an iPhone.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Hey.
hell no.
Yes,
Oh,
super pig. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
said choose wisely, Jimmy and Curtis. Choose wisely. What do y'all do? Y'all say what?
I don't enjoy.
Oh man.
That's suspicious.
Now she gonna have bragging rights saying that you guys are there, and I need to jump on the iPhone bandwagon, and I'm not doing that no time soon. But I'll let you
I
guys
know
add
that.
that.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
Well,
I love it. I love it.
Priscilla, you got it.
All right, there is a question I would like to ask you all. It's about other artists coming on here. What advice what kind of message should we give to other artists? We here right now. Just give to other artists just being on Old School Tuesday Turn Up. Just tell them like right now what message you like. How would you get them here? Like let them know. Like let them know. Like hey, y'all gotta come do this show. It's Old School Tuesday Turn Up. Just like what kind of message would you say? You guys would like to say to other artists?
I would say that that's one of the best things you could ever do is be on Watley Presents School Tuesdays Turn Up. You need to come and learn something from this. This is a great show to be on, you know. And I'm happy about being on here and being with Miss Watley and Tall Boy and everybody else on here. This is a great thing, you know. Work hard on whatever you're doing. Work hard on your music, and look here, you'll get here. That's all that is. I don't care where you go, you will get here.
yeah. What I like about this interview, we did. There's no cards out there telling us what to say. The questions are given to us, and everybody's shooting from the heart, and it's real comfortable. And it's like I said, it's nothing
Right.
made up. All of this
It's all good.
down to earth. The questions are down to earth, and it's a no-brainer. You just tell the truth about where you are. We're not in here trying to hype up, making it us bigger than who we are, or making the show bigger than what it is. It's going to get big anyway because of the way that it's being conducted, and so that's why it feels good to be able to. We're relaxed. There's no tension at all up here, wondering, oh, am I going to say the right thing or what's going to be next? It's free for all, you know.
Yeah.
And both the hosts are beautiful, you know. And so it made it really, really. I didn't know what we was getting ready to get into. I just came, sit down, and said, okay, let's go. and it worked out perfect for Jimmy and Curtis. This will be on our page, and it'll be it'll be one of the biggest things we got on our page because of the presentation.
Yeah, and, it's gonna work,
and it's gonna work for us. I bet you we get all kind of response on our page, and it's no telling what this show will push us to shows that are a little bigger. And then at the same time, when we go to those shows that are bigger, we're always going to say, don't forget about Old School Tuesday Turn Up, because that's what started us. That gave us that boost.
You got that girl over there crying. You got her crying, Curtis. You got her crying. Go ahead, keep on making her cry. Keep on, come on.
Yeah, but that's
look, she has stepped off the crack. Look at her. She just stepped off the screen and everything. Look at her. She's crying. Man, you ain't that man. This girl ain't never cried on this show, man. Come on, let me put the screen. Keep on talking, Curtis. Keep on. Go ahead. Get her, Curtis. Come on, Curtis.
But it's real. She's a great host, and with it being like that, you know, sometimes you just need to hear it, and that you know that we'll never forget you. You're in our future, and you're also going to be in our past. But you're going to be there. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that.
Oh, you made the girl cry. Oh, she got you mess up my makeup. What you say, Curtis? What you say?
You can't touch this.
What you say, Curtis? You can't touch this over here.
You can't touch this.
My makeup artist for the first time she's in here. She gonna be like, Messed up your makeup.
All I can tell
No,
you is,
thank
It's great, man.
yeah, keep being you,
thank
young
you.
lady, because this is your knack. I keep saying about what I am, what Jimmy is, what G Luke is, and Tallboy, of course. But you keep being you. You got something that makes us feel comfortable when you ask us a question. And without that, the interview wouldn't be like this. So in order for it to be like this, it starts with you. That's where it starts. And you're doing an excellent job. And don't ever let anybody intimidate you. And don't you back down on nothing being afraid to be who you are. Because if you be who you are, you're going to bring out in the person you're interviewing who they are. Because you got a way of doing that. That's a gift from God, baby. Run with it.
Thank you.
Glory
Thank
to
you.
God.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank you all for just being here and thank you for that advice and everything. I know people are going to be like, oh, Mr. I'm be like, no, I really do just thank you. And I make the show about you all, allow you all to come on here and tell your stories and everything. I just like the way, how like I said, we've started from episode 1 to now and how we do the show. And all the fans always say is you make the artists feel so comfortable talking to you. It's just my personality. I make it about the fans. I give the fans, I'll ask them who they want to see on the show. Sometimes I'll hit them with artists they haven't seen or in a long time. So and I know, and I like to go with people I know who's going to bring me that story, who's going to really just sit and talk with me and just allow me to interview them. So to Jimmy, to Curtis, thank you guys and everything for being here. And I enjoyed you all. And thank you for being episode 38. And to let you guys know, anytime. And you are now, you guys, you both are part of the Old School Tuesday Turnup. Anytime that you want to come back, anything you have going on, let us know. Anything real quick. Do you guys have a show coming on this weekend, going on this weekend you want to tell your fans about so they can come see you all?
Well, we play locally at a place called Costumes out in Conyers. And we played a brunch out there from 12 to 4. And on Friday nights, we play Nancy's Pizza from 6 to 9. Now, Jimmy, the group Brick, has a concert. When is that, Jimmy?
Yeah, we have a concert next month on the 15th. That's Zap and Lakeside.
All right.
That's on the 15th of next month in Mapleton.
Yeah, and Jimmy's getting an award in Savannah, him with Mary from SOS in Savannah. Now, what date is that?
That's on November the 1st.
November the 1st.
That's a Tuesday. Yeah. I get an award down there. So.
Yeah, so we got some things.
Things are moving.
Things are moving.
Okay, that's what's up. Where can on social media can you guys find? Where can your fans find you on social media, real quick?
Jimmy and Curtis.
Jimmy and Curtis.
On
Jimmy
IG.
And Curtis.
Instagram.
Luke G will be whispering to me what to say because I'm not a social media thing. I told you I'm a dinosaur.
I think it's Facebook. It's
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, it's Instagram. Huh? It's Instagram.
Oh, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Jimmy and Curtis.
Y'all need to put Luke G on put Luke G on the video.
Luke, come here. They been talking about
you. Put Luke G. Yeah, he been talking about you all night and ain't gave you no screen time. You got your hair cut. Your breath is good. You want to make sure you're all right because they been hyping you up all this time.
That's Luke.
You supposed to go behind. You supposed to be behind them, but you didn't jump.
Yeah, behind the scenes is where I'm supposed to be.
You supposed to be behind Mr. Jimmy and Mr. Curtis. You didn't just block Mr. Curtis all out the shot and everything. Lord Jesus, help this man. There he is. There he is. That's the famous Luke G. So for the ones who don't know, Luke G was a gospel artist. Am I correct? And then now you done got into production and you're still doing your music. Is that correct?
That is correct. Still doing the music. I've been working with these fine gentlemen here. I've been learning a whole lot because, I grew up on that music too, so they inspired me, and we appreciate y'all. We really do.
Now tell them where they can find our music. That's what we asked.
Okay, so you can find
Jimmy, like, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got
online. They're on all social media. Then they're also on all the stores, iTunes, Google Play, everywhere. They got a new album called In the Mood, and they got a couple cuts on there. They told you Sleepy Brown is on a couple songs. They wrote some, all of these are original. And like I said, I produced a lot of it, but I wasn't the only producer. They were playing, so you're going to hear some real music. We're going to take you back, and then we're going to take you forward. So we've been working together and coming up with some great music. I've always believed in them then. And I said, why not? Y'all still out here doing it. Why don't you just, come out with something else? And they like, yeah, let's do it. So, we just been working together ever since. And for me, it's an honor to work with these platinum and gold artists. Like, they sold millions of records. So I'm learning. I'm like, how did y'all do it? That's what I'm asking them every day. I'm like, how did y'all do it? So, to work with them is my honor and pleasure. JimmyandCurtis.com. Jimmy and Curtis on IG, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure y'all keep up with them because they're going to be doing some great things. They're touring, like they said, and yeah, we're going up.
Yep. All the way.
Rich Vibe says, yeah, Into You is a great track. And as we mentioned before, he's over in Exeter. I think it's about 2 or 3 hours outside of London. So he's a DJ out there. So he's already heard the song, and I think probably getting some airplay. Plays the track on Sundays.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said I played their track on Sunday, by the way. That's what he just said to you guys. Rich.
Oh, wonderful. That's great.
Yes, yes. All right. Now, y'all, let's get up out of here. Before we do, wait, you guys, I'm going to talk to you real quick behind the scenes.
Don't leave, Luke.
Here. Yeah, don't leave. So I'm going to go ahead and announce to the fans. I want to just say thank you all for tuning in tonight to episode 38. Get ready for next month because we already got 2 locked in interviews. We got the one usually I do not make announcements when I'm having the next artist, but I'm going to get this out the way because these 2 are next interviews that's coming up mid-October is already been locked in.
You sure you want to do that?
Only,
you sure you want to do that?
Locked in.
You sure you want to do that?
Let the fans have some fun, Tallboy. Let's let them have some fun. And like Jimmy Curtis, you know how it is. You can't have your fans waiting. You got to sit there, let them go ahead and let them know. Let's let them know.
Yeah, let them know.
Like I said,
let them know.
Exactly. Let them know. Gospel singer, our very first gospel singer, Tasha Page Lockhart. She will be here. Yeah, we got a gospel singer. I know. And the only.
Hold on. Let me set it up. Yeah, leave. You gonna set it up? Yeah, can I set it up? Go ahead.
Watch it.
I was remixing it for you so you could set it up for the next person. Oh my gosh, he's special, y'all.
We gotta practice that. You can't see how he does me on the live, y'all. See, all right, next up, we got the one at the end of the month. These 90 duo guys are going to be here. If you know the song, No More Shopping Spree, Rough Ends will be here. They were just locked in today. Yep, Tasha Page Lockhart and Rough Ends will be here next month. I ain't going to tell you when, but I know when. But I'm not going to tell you guys. But they're going to be here in October. So get ready for upcoming interviews for the month of October. That's how we doing it. Get ready for episode 40 because we're close. Jimmy Curtis, we're close. We getting ready to do this one episode. We're close to episode 40. I know. We're close, y'all. We done made it. And then next month we'll also be celebrating 2 years of Old School Tuesday Turnup. You may never know what kind of surprises will come with. But until then, in the meantime, in between time, I want to thank you all for tuning in to Old School Tuesday Turnup tonight, episode 38, with the one and the only Jimmy Brown and Curtis Reynolds. A break. Y'all give it up for them. Thank you guys for being here. And Luke, thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing us to talk to you just a few minutes ago. And thank you for being here. You guys stick around. Hold on. We'll be out. Let me help her end out. Thank you to Tallboy doing what y'all know how Tallboy does. Thank you, Tallboy, for being here. Tallboy, let that fans see you. over there hiding. All right. Just like that, I'm out. Hey, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You got to dance, Jimmy and Curtis. You got to dance it out. You got to dance it out. Hey. There you go. You got to dance it on out. We riding this thing on out of here. There you go. Do the bankhead bounce. You know what it is. Hey, get on up out of here. That's what they're talking about.